Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new DC live stream. I'm your host, Matt Battieri, here with my co-host, Wasim Debussy. How are you, my friend?
I'm outstanding, Matty. I'm outstanding. My children, my two oldest boys are back from overseas. They've been away for 10 weeks. So, it's a good day for us. Looking forward to going out for dinner with the family and having a weekend with my boys after I haven't seen them for so long.
And hearing all the stories.
Yeah, hearing all. I've already heard some on the way home. Nothing I'm going to repeat on here. We might get banned, but yeah, it's been they had a lot of fun over there.
Well, speaking of stories, we've got an amazing story today where a hedge fund manager that manages $60 billion worth of assets believes Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million. So I do believe it's going to go to $1 million. I don't know about the time frame that they say 2030, but hey, we'll have to wait and see if the world changes its outlook on governments managing countries' funds. And they all seem to be doing a poor job of it. Maybe we will see Bitcoin become a global standard in our lifetime, which would just be absolutely amazing. But without further ado, let's jump into a meme for the day. We forgot our meme today, so we're just going to watch a quick little video. And guys, pump up the music. This one's got some good music.
Sound's not coming out.
Oh, to the moon. All righty, guys. The first news article of the day. We've got exactly what we spoke about just a second ago. It's over to you, Wasim.
Yeah. So look, I don't know if I agree with you. I mean, I think there is a case for Bitcoin going to $1 million by 2030, and we can get into that in a moment. I'll give you guys my reasons. But ARK Invest maintains their prediction for Bitcoin price will hit $1 million by 2030. Now, this is their bullish case. Their base case or their bearish case is $500,000 Bitcoin by 2030. And they go through and they explain why they believe this. And the reason they say is, despite a severe downturn, public blockchains continue to foster multiple revolutions. One of them is Bitcoin, says ARK Invest in their 2023 Big Ideas Research Report. So they say that this is why the Bitcoin currency in the eyes of ARK is still predicted to close the decade at $1 million because of the fundamentals are sound despite a turbulent 2020. They spoke about contagion caused by central counterparts. Has elevated Bitcoin's value proposition. Decentralization, auditability, transparency is what ARK writes. Its network fundamentals have strengthened and its holder base has become more and more long-term focused. ARK Invest backs its claim by pointing at the higher hash rate, long-term holder supply, and addresses with no zero balances compared to prior downturns. So they go in and they start giving their basis case, which is I don't remember seeing this one, but basically what they're talking about is, by 2030 they expect Bitcoin to be minimum $500,000, a bullish case of $1 million. They speak about that what happened in the last bear run. Let's say last year in 2022, one of the big things that we saw that was different to previous bear runs is that there was a lot of people, even though Bitcoin was crashing so bad and Bitcoin's price went down so hard, and all the things that happened with Celsius, 3 Arrows, Voyager, FTX, etc., there was still a lot of people that held onto their Bitcoin and did not sell. So, and that continued to grow during 2020. Even now, when you look on exchanges with the price of Bitcoin, the pump that we've had, there's still not enough liquidity on exchanges to be able to maintain this crypto pump. So any turbulence along the way can actually cause Bitcoin to crash quite fast. As they say, in a bear market, you go up on stairs, you come down in an elevator. So if that happens, it just shows that the Bitcoin army is not going to let go of Bitcoin because they still believe in the long-term value and the long-term proposition of Bitcoin. And we're going to be talking about that in the adoption. You're going to see a supermarket chain in South Africa that's now accepting Bitcoin, and Bitcoin adoption around the world is getting bigger and stronger and stronger. And it's going to be like a snowball effect, in my opinion, that by 2030 we can actually reach the $1 million mark.
Well, I told you already my side of the story, so we're not going to debate on this. But you will see. We will see. I hope let's just say, if this is one time I'm hoping you're right, this is where I hope you're right.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Look, I mean, for me, I'm looking forward. I hope we have another crash. I hope we have another leg down. I haven't accumulated enough Bitcoin. I think nobody can say that they've got enough Bitcoin. No matter how much Bitcoin you have, you can always have more, right? So, I mean, just as long as you're stacking sats, get in there, DCA every single week, every single fortnight, every single month, whatever it is you can do, put it in. It will pay off. I mean, what $20,000 asset class that has a prediction of $1 million. Now, 10 years ago, when Bitcoin was trading at a couple $100, or even in 2009, when Bitcoin was trading for less than a cent, who would have thought that Bitcoin would be $23,000 in 14 years? Back then, that seemed unbelievable. So that's my opinion. Do not underestimate Bitcoin. Bitcoin does some magical things when it's on the run.
All right, next we have Turkey's National Alliance set for crypto adoption. So the Nation Alliance, a political opposition group in Turkey, has released its doctrine ahead of elections that must be held by June 18, 2023. So the doctrine includes plans to increase crypto adoption and regulation in the region. So the alliance aims to implement blockchain technology in areas such as the job market, health sector, international trade, and city planning. So the doctrine also calls for 2 protocols for international trade and customs, a proper taxation system for cryptocurrencies, and a regulatory framework for investor protection. Turkey has been experiencing a surge of crypto adoption driven by skyrocketing inflation and has been taking steps to regulate cryptocurrencies and explore the metaverse. So I definitely think that this is very interesting, purely for the fact that a lot of countries have suffered really, really high inflation. Venezuela, Argentina, Turkey, a lot of the African countries, and a lot of these countries are starting to seriously think about, hey, we need something a little bit more stable than our current currency. So we need to start thinking about implementing cryptocurrencies, or more importantly, Bitcoin if possible. So I think this is a really good story, even though depending on what type of political opposition they are, they didn't really say what type of, if they're left wing, right wing, or in the center. So I'd have to look at seeing who the Nation Alliance is.
Well, first of all, I just want to point out that this is the type of news that makes me bullish why Bitcoin is going to be $1 million by 2030, and exactly all the stuff that you said, the amount of inflation, the amount of countries looking, the amount of adoption happening around the world. It's because of this that it will be snowball effect. So in terms of the question to your answer, the National Alliance is 6 parties that have come and joined forces to go against the ruling party that's been in power since 2002. So the current ruling power in Turkey has been the ruling power for 20 years, and no one's been able to oppose them. So six parties came together, created the National Alliance to go up against them. And I think this is great because the current party that's in power, I don't know the name of them, I don't know that much about Turkish politics, but what I do know is they are anti-crypto, they are anti-Bitcoin, and they're pro-IMF. So if you can get someone into power who is pro crypto, pro Bitcoin, then you increase the likelihood of, friendly legislation, you increase the likelihood of more adoption, and then eventually you can even increase the likelihood of Bitcoin becoming a legal tender. And if that happens, then we're going to have trillions and trillions of dollars coming in, and that's just going to make Bitcoin's price go up, its market price go up, and then go to $1 million. So that's
How do you know so much about the Turkish government? Did you do your research before this, or is it because Lebanon is a neighbor of Turkey, and you know a little bit too much about your neighbor?
No, brother. It actually says it in the third paragraph. The election season, 6 major opposition parties joined forces to create the national.
You could have just said, yeah, I'm actually really into international politics.
I'm not into international politics. I'm very into Bitcoin politics. So I like to know what different countries are doing. And I've known about Turkey's inflation. We've spoken about a lot last year.
We have.
Yeah, and I know the stance of the government. So I just grabbed the information I knew in my head and came up with that assessment.
Alrighty, over to you.
All right, what do we have next? Okay, new era is Cardano based stable DJed goes live on mainnet. So there's been talk about a Cardano based stable coin. There wasn't one previously to this. Centralized stable coin called DJed. And backed by Cardano's native token ADA. And this is last month, Coty, the DJed issuer Coty, announced that DJed has transitioned to a multi-chain network that now supports private payment networks. It also announced that DJed deposit fees will decrease by 50% as it switches from a fixed withdrawal price to a dynamic system. Coty said the changes will assist in the widespread adoption of accepting crypto assets as payment for goods and services. The launch signifies a massive step for the crypto industry as well as Coty, as the upgrade will increase the growth of the widespread adoption of crypto payments for enterprises that are yet to adopt crypto payments. So there's been quite a lot of news about this over the week. I've been seeing it quite a lot on Twitter. I've seen some negative news. I've seen some positive news. I've seen people who say, there's still a lot of people out there that don't trust stable coins. But I think for me, stable coins as opposed to CBDCs are probably a better way to go. We don't want CBDCs. And I'm interested to see, because I'm a big believer of Cardano. Cardano is one of my favorite projects, and it's one of my largest holdings. So I would love to see what they're doing and what happens there.
I'm not too certain about how it would go, just purely for the fact that I spoke about it one of my altcoin TAs a few months ago, and we were talking about how Sunday Swap, if you're unfamiliar with Sunday Swap, it's basically a DEX on the Cardano chain. It hasn't done as well as like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, which is obviously Ethereum chain and BSC chain. So when the ADA or Cardano Foundation has released stuff in the past, it hasn't actually been amazing. So I don't know how this stable coin is going to go. If it's anything that to go by in regards to Sunday Swap, it might be a flop. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Look, I think there's a lot of resistance with people with Cardano. There's some people who don't like Cardano because they were a bit slow in bringing out their the smart contracts, and when it did come out, it didn't work well. But I'm a believer in Charles Hoskinson. I think the mission this guy is on in terms of liberating Africa, and a lot of the work that he does is in Africa. I think a lot of people don't see that, and until people realize how much work Cardano is doing in Africa, we reported recently they've got Hoskinson built a Cardano-based hospital in America where people can pay with Cardano for healthcare. So I think there's a lot of work, and it's going to take. It's still like the fourth largest or fifth largest cryptocurrency in market cap. So it's still a very strong coin. I think you've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and then Cardano if you take out the stable coins. So yeah, so it's still pretty up there. I'm a big believer in Cardano, and I think in time people will definitely chime in on it.
Yeah. Looking at the market, Phantom doing well. I don't know why Luna's doing any well. We have Kava, Shiba, Immutable X, and I'm pretty sure that's proof of work Ethereum, which funnily enough, one of our newest members is an Ethereum miner and asked me, hey, I'm going to change my mining rig to one of the other ETH miners, because obviously they've moved from proof of work to proof of stake, or vice versa. I forget which way. And I said you should start mining this Ethereum right here. So hopefully he's been mining this Ethereum, because he's made 20% over the last couple of weeks. Well, just today alone, it's up 20%, but it would have gone up like the rest of the market.
Yeah, no, they have gone from Ethereum proof of work to Ethereum proof of stake. So
yeah,
I think some people just they didn't like that. So look, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know how good the ETH proof of work will go, even though I am a big believer in proof of work over proof of stake. But I think once a fork has happened so big, then the forks that try to go off chain don't do as well. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Alrighty, the market. Yep, go for it, man.
No, go for it, bro. Or yours. You're the market analyst, not me.
Just gonna say, yeah, BTC having a bit of a pullback, still sort of grinding up. I have been looking at the price sort of just before. We tapped during the FOMC meeting. I think it was this morning or yesterday morning. We had a quick week down, some volatility down to the weekly at 22,700. That was a really good opportunity for a long. Made it all the way to 24,300. Now having a bit of a pullback, but I think we hopefully will have one more move a little bit higher to this weekly wick up here. So 25,200 is where I'm kind of hoping we at least get to for a good opportunity. But look, guys, I've been taking some profits, I must admit, on all my investments over the last month. I'm not being too greedy. I do believe that things need to cool off a little bit. Even though the stock market's doing quite well, we've gone up very fast. And I think smart people are going to start taking some profits. Not taking everything off the table, but definitely taking some profits.
Yeah. What's your opinion on it? I've been hearing some people talking about Bitcoin going to 30 grand, and obviously the Bitcoin halving starting at 32.5. I've been hearing a lot about, ending the year around 32 grand. But what do you think? Do you think we're going to get there before we have a leg down?
I possibly think we could do what we've done in previous bear markets, and we could possibly get to the 618, which is $48,000 Bitcoin. Okay. In the next few months. That's the most bullish case. If we get there, then obviously we'll have a long, slow pullback because that is the 618, which is a huge barrier to try and get through, a resistance barrier. So we've done that in previous three bull markets, going back to the 618 and then retraced a bit for another 3 to sort of 6 months before we have the halving and then the exponential run. So I think the most bullish case is 48K, 49, 50, and then coming back. Apart from that, I'd like to, in the short term, in the next month or so, see Bitcoin get to at least to 28. I think that would be quite healthy and at least a good starting point. So I'm looking at least 28,000.
So have we taken the $12,000 Bitcoin off the table?
No, I don't think so. I think, like anything, once we do have this bounce, when we start selling off, if we have some major news, like United States goes to war with China, we could see another flash crash like what we saw in COVID. So I'm not taking it off the cards, because look at COVID. COVID dropped us pretty much as close as possible to the lows of 2018-19. So anything can happen, especially if there's some bad news. So yeah. Alrighty, let's move on. We have our first tweet today by Crypto Tia. Lebanon just announced that they will devalue their currency by 90% tomorrow. The idea of Bitcoin sounds crazy until this happens to you. So I guess we can put Lebanon, between Eastern Europe and Asian countries that are suffering a little bit of inflation issues. Looking at possibly Bitcoin. What do kids say when they're over there? Was crypto a hot topic? Are they talking about Bitcoin in Lebanon?
To be quite honest, I haven't had that conversation with them yet because they came their plane was delayed. So by the time I picked them up, I had to quickly get started at work today. So I'll be definitely having a conversation with them tonight at dinner. But look, they were definitely speaking about the volatility in Lebanon, how much people were suffering. I was speaking to my cousin over there, and she tells me like every time the dollar moves, the people really suffer. And what people don't understand, in Lebanon, there's 3 exchange rates. There's the official exchange rate, there's the central bank exchange rate, and there's the parallel market, which is the real exchange rate on the street. So even though that the official exchange rate right now, or now that they've changed it, is £15,000 to $1. It was up until the 31st of January, £1,507 per dollar. But the actual exchange rate on the streets is 58 to $63,000 pounds per dollar.
So 4 times as much as what it's really like.
Yeah. So the people are really suffering. Like, I speak to people, and they used to, like I remember back in the day when I was a child, my dad would give me £1 or 1 lira to go.
Yeah, when you say pound, is that what they transact in pounds in Lebanon?
Well, we call it lira in Arabic, but I see a lot of the Western media call it pounds. So I don't know why they translate it. I know it as lira. But basically, we used to have 1 lira that my dad would give me, and I'd go out, buy my lollies and chips or whatever as a kid. And now that 1 lira is no one will even look at it.
It's like 1 Satoshi, not even 1 Satoshi. It's
not even 1 Satoshi. Like if $1 is now trading at around 58 to 62,000 lira. So the money's worthless over there. This is why if you're in Lebanon, you need to be buying Bitcoin. They're gonna, like, if you read this article, and we spoke about this on Tuesday, and I'm gonna do a dedicated video about this and put it out on our shorts and also on our TikTok. But basically, what this article is saying is over the next, the IMF wanted them to take the hit straight away, but the Lebanese corrupt government doesn't want to do that. They want to take the hit over 5 years and allow the banks to be able to take because they're losing 90% of the value of the money they have in the bank. They want to make the public pay for it. So they want to devalue the lira even more so that people who have money in the bank lose even more money. And right now, people can't take money out of the bank. We've seen this over and over again. And I should look up some videos where people literally walk into banks with AK-47s to withdraw their own money. Like, imagine you had to go to a bank armed to the teeth just to pull out your own money out of your own account. There's a story about a guy who his father was sick and needed money, had $100,000 in the bank. The guy was a successful businessman, had money, been saving in the bank, and they wouldn't give him more than I think it was like a couple $100. Yet he actually walked in the bank with an AK-47 to be able to pull out $10,000 to treat his father. This is what's happening in Lebanon, and when this starts happening around the world, more and more people are going to get turned to Bitcoin.
We hope so. Next one is for you, my friend.
Yes. So Mr. Elon Musk. So Mr. Elon Musk has officially stated that started the regulatory process to add payment features in the United States. And he also explained that there is a role for crypto in the future. It's a no-brainer for Twitter to have payments in both fiat and crypto. So Twitter is now looking at accepting payments via fiat as well as crypto. And he didn't actually, like, Elon Musk just speaks in riddles. He doesn't say much. Like, he doesn't, other than Shiba, Dogecoin. Other than Dogecoin, he doesn't pump any other tokens. So he says that they are looking at taking payments in crypto. He didn't specify which tokens. We do know that Elon holds a lot of Bitcoin, and Tesla was holding a lot of Bitcoin. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when this happens. And this is Twitter is now the world's largest social media platform. It's absolutely, ever since he took it over, he's completely turned it around. So for them to do this is going to be a pretty big move.
Alrighty, last tweet we have Karen. Incredible today. Trudeau had the audacity to say in the HOC that we have a strong economy. Hello, no, Mr. Trudeau. No money to buy food, fuel, or shelter isn't a strong economy. He and the Liberal Party don't get it, don't even care. The Canadians are hurting. We know that obviously he's not a fan of Bitcoin. We know that he stopped the use of cryptocurrency for the truckers that went on strike last year. So sounds like he's giving a false narrative to the people that things are okay, but other people don't think things are okay.
Yeah, so look, I have been keeping a bit of a close eye on this. We've got a client who is from Canada, and he he messages me different updates that was happening in Canada. Now, look, obviously Trudeau is not very popular in Canada right now after what he's done. And this guy, not this guy that's on the screen now, the previous guy, whose name is Pierre Poliver, he's been going hard against him. And actually, Trudeau just replies back to him and goes, "What have you brought? What have you brought other than a Bitcoin recommendation?" So I think these guys are going to win the next election because he's doing a very hard campaign. He's absolutely smashing Trudeau. He's bringing in all they're really struggling in Canada also. They've got something like 30,000 deaths because people just had enough of overdoses. Their crime rate is up. Mortgage repayments have doubled. Rent has doubled. There's a lot of people, 9 out of 10 people, young people can't afford to buy housing. So there's a lot of pain happening in Canada right now. And if the Labor, so he's a Liberal, these guys are Labor because they're a Commonwealth like us. So the Labor government is now looking at coming in, and they actually are pro-Bitcoin. Now, I'm not a Labor supporter in general. I'm not a Liberal supporter anymore anyway. I hate both parties. They're both crap. But I think if these guys win, they can bring in a very, very favorable crypto adoption into the country.
Alrighty. Next, we have adoption highlights, guys.
All right, now this is pretty big news because this retail giant Pick n Pay in South Africa that's got 1,628 stores across the nation has now adopted Bitcoin as a payment method. So in a tweet that they had from the Crypto QR put up, which is a company that they partnered up with, so they partnered up with Crypto QR and also the Lightning Wallet. So as long as a person's got a Lightning Wallet and a Crypto QR app, they can just scan the QR code that comes up on the screen. That automatically translates to how many Satoshis that is at the current exchange rate, and then they can make the payment instantly. Now, people have already started putting videos on Twitter of them doing so. It's a very, very big move when you have such a large chain do so. And South Africa already accepts that Bitcoin is a payment method. And the more and more companies do this in South Africa, the more adoption we have. And the closer we get to that $1 million Bitcoin.
Next, we have eBay partners with Notable Live to connect athletes with fans through NFTs. So to enhance the NFT and fans' unique experience with their favorite sports players, leagues, and teams, eBay is obviously partnered with Notable Live. So as part of this multi-year agreement, Notable Live will supply eBay with NFTs and player equipment, and the two companies will collaborate to bring NFTs and exclusive player items to eBay's NFT marketplace. Now, eBay was also the lead investor in Notable Live's recent Series A funding round. Notable Live is a platform that blends live video interaction with event-like elements to offer fans a closer connection to their favorite sports icons. So eBay has been active in the NFT space, having acquired NFT marketplace Knowing Origin last June and launching its first NFT series with one of in May. So it's funny, like eBay used to be such a big company that was talked about quite regularly, and I feel like they've taken a big backseat because now you got Facebook Marketplace that probably took a lot of their share because it's free to post on Facebook. So now they're trying to pivot. Like Kodak should have pivoted when phones came out with the ability to take photographs and so forth. So I'm not too sure if eBay is now looking to pivot into the metaverse space or do something, do the same thing along those same lines.
Well, they are. So they are looking at, part of eBay's tech reimagining strategy. They're doing a lot of work with NFTs, and we've been mentioning this, that eBay is looking at adopting crypto. So I think they want to get back at the top. I mean, eBay used to be the place to be. They were the first one. Then, like you said, they've had so much competition and other ways that people can sell so they're looking at regaining some of the market share. So we'll see what happens with this.
Alrighty, last one, mate.
All right. Last but not least, Toyota is to explore blockchain use cases via DAO hackathon. So, Toyota, the company, is now looking at using or they're doing a hackathon and looking how they can get some proof of concept blockchain applications that they can use as a company. And this could be things like, keeping track record of the cars, where they are, the manufacturing, when they sell it, with all the ownership and whatnot. So more and more companies are looking at using blockchain to reduce any type of, obviously, corruption or data loss and whatnot. And we're going to finally see a lot of companies taking on more and more blockchain technology.
I hope so. I hope so. Because imagine how crazy cars are going to get when we can implement blockchain technology in them. You're going to be able to. I think right now you can start mining Bitcoin in your Tesla if you've got the right equipment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I've seen someone mine Bitcoin with their Tesla. Guys, that's it for today. Before we let you go, we want to let you know about our upcoming event on February 12th, how to create passive incomes using digital assets. We can't wait to show you guys this. You can go to the link below, breakoutnow.co/income-event. Register yourself for the event. It's awesome. Please try and attend live because it gives you the ability to ask questions. We're going to be giving away some industry secrets, lots of information, and show you how, even though we're coming out of a bear market, how we and our clients have been able to make passive incomes through the entire bear market and still put money in our back pocket whilst inflation has been rising. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Once again, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, turn on all notifications, and we will catch you guys at our next live stream next Tuesday. But before that, we've got market update on Monday. See you then.
Peace out.